Hey, what's up, champs? Well, back once again for the Cash Left episode 3 UFC Stockholm betting conversation, pretty much. Just talking all things Stockholm, which seems to, I seem to be forgetting about. I still think we've got another week off for some reason. It's not really cropped my mind all too much. Usually, during fight week, I'm kind of glued in, but this one, probably the fact I'm not going to watch it live, I'll be at work with the early start time over here in Europe, which is always good. But yeah, I've got no bets made so far, which is a little bit weird for myself. I usually have at least one made by now, but nothing's really there for me as of yet. There is a couple of things I like, but I think I'm just going to ride out another 24 hours and see where we're at with those lines and kind of go from there. Really, it's one of those things where, like I say, I've actually had kind of more vision on UFC 238, which I know in saying, I think when I made my prediction, I was going to try and get the video out a lot earlier, and I'm thinking I might do it tonight, or I might just wait until tomorrow, or maybe even Saturday to do it. Just give myself, there's a few fights there I'm not too sure about, so I'm kind of going back and watching over them. So, but yeah, I can see the chat on the right hand side there. If you've got any bets that you guys have put on, if you've got any parlays and anything, any props that you like, send my way. If you get any questions you would just like to answer, anything you want to ask me, MMA in general, just anything in general, just bash on. I know it's betting conversation, but if there's any questions you want to throw in, or just anything you want to ask, then by all means just throw it in there and we'll get to it. So UFC Stockholm, obviously. So we're looking at a main event of Alexander Gustafsson against Anthony Smith. I thought some of the lines haven't really shifted all too much, which is a little bit weird to me. I thought they'd, but not kind of too much, which I'm a little bit surprised at. So some of the lines, let me get the betting lines up. I did have them there. So betting lines, just going to run through them quickly. Alvarez against Belardo, that's going to move from Belardo being underdog. He's now, it's a pick'em, a slight lean on him. Darko Stosic, he's came all the way down to plus 100. Devin Clark minus 120. I am going to bet Darko Stosic, definitely. I'm definitely going to have a bet on him coming into this card. I think him at dog money is just a really good value play, in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of Devin Clark. I don't see his skills as being great, but I think it's a winnable fight for him. Don't get me wrong, but I think I like that Darko Stosic there. B. Maleki against Eduardo Santana. 125 for B. Eduardo is plus 105. I'm not going to go anywhere near that. No danger. Frank Macho minus 115. Nick Hine minus 105. I don't want none of that. If I was going to be, I picked Camacho. As the kind of week goes on, I just see it as a straight pick 'em where it could go either way. I would need dog money, big dog money on either side there just to bet it. Stevie Ray. This one interests me because I picked him on the show, on my prediction show, and I thought to myself, I thought I've got a funny feeling it's going to be close, and I caught a little bit of flack for looking through tartan glasses and picking your home country guy. Fair enough. I do think he's genuinely got a good chance to win this fight. I know Santos has been away for a long time. I just think, how many 40-year-old lightweights do you really see in the UFC? And I know he's not been fighting, so he might be fresh, but you have to think he's got some rust. I see a viable stake for Stevie Ray to actually go and win this fight. I really do. Plus 170, I've kind of missed the opportunity to bet him at plus, I think it was plus 200 at one point. Kind of agree with that line is. Maybe I think it'll come down a little bit more than that. Might bet Stevie Ray. Not sure. Evanger, Landsberg, plus 235 on Landsberg, minus 275 on Evanger. Want no real part of that fight. Rostem Akman against Sergey Kandozko, minus 165 for Sergey, plus 145 for Rostem. Don't really want any part of that fight either. Daniel Tamer plus 125, Sunbing Joe minus 145. I think that fight's going to be a lot closer than what maybe I originally thought. I think Daniel Tamer's actually maybe a bit of a live fight on that one, but again, want no real part of that fight. Christos Hiagos plus 155, Demir Hadzovic minus 175. I'm still waiting for that line to come down in Demir a little bit. I think it will. I know I've seen that minus 170, 60, minus 150. That would be great. Doubt it gets that low, but yeah, still. Alexander Rakic minus 190, Jimmy Manuwa plus 165. Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I really do. If Rakic can't get him out, I think Jimmy's going to fight him close. So I can probably see that line maybe coming down a little bit, maybe minus 175 by fight time for Rakic. Fishgold minus 115, Amir Khani minus 105. Pick him, tough fight to call. I'm on Amir Khani's side. I really want Chris Fishgold to win the fight personally. But yeah, again, don't really want any part of the fight. Latifi and Volkan Ozdemir, that fight just got cancelled 2 hours ago. Latifi, Ozdemir was actually the guy I was thinking of maybe betting, but obviously now that fight's kind of gone. Yeah, it's a shame because I was maybe looking at that one as a bet there. Anthony Smith plus 275, minus 335 and Gustafsson. I like Gustafsson pretty comprehensively now, and I just think he's going to outclass actually Anthony Smith. But for the number you're taking on Smith, it might not be a bad little poke if you're going to have that. So, yeah, like I say, I just struggle to find bets that I really, really like, that I like to put on. So just jump into here, just answer some of you guys' questions so I'm not lagging all behind there. Can Fishgold find a finish? I think he can. I just, I'm not sure about his gas tank, really concerns me. I don't think that's got any better. I really don't. And from what I've kind of been hearing regarding a couple of things, I think he's maybe carrying an injury, a pretty significant injury into this one. But that's hearsay again. I've not heard it from the horse's mouth, so I'm just kind of hearing from other people. So take that with what you with. I would like kind of plus money, maybe a plus 120 on Amir Khani if I was to bet him. But no. How do you feel about Tamer finding his first win? I think he can. I've kind of changed my stance on that a little bit more as the fight week has been on. But yeah, nice guy. I wouldn't mind seeing him getting a win in Sweden, but who knows? Do you think Fishgold will use the move splash? You give Manuwa any chance against Rakic? I do. I think he's a lot more of a live fighter than many others out there do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. It's one of the fights I'm looking forward to. See what Rakic is all about. See if he's making those strides up that some people think he is. Like I said, I'm not on that one yet. It's a big step up from what he's faced before, and potentially against not a deteriorating fighter in declining, maybe a slightly declining Jimmy Manuwa. Torn between betting Rakic or not. There's a lot of people on Alexander Rakic this week, by the looks of things, from what I'm seeing on some of the forums and a little bit on Twitter. Not that I've been on that much. But yeah, Manuwa's still live. Manuwa's got massive power and can take shots as well. I've seen people say, oh, he got knocked out by Thiago Santos. I'm like, yeah, Thiago Santos knocks guys out. That's what that dude does. He beats ass, takes chins, and cashes checks is what that guy does. So, yeah, Bufo on the beat, my man. How's things? Good to see you. Adam Rose, Stosic parlay with Fishgold and Manuwa. I want nothing regarding those two fights. Yeah, Stosic I like straight though, in my opinion. Yeah, I like that bet a lot actually. So I will play that. Frank Camacho was one I was thinking about betting, and then I think this fight's going to be super close. So it's like, do I stick with that? Do I not? It's just fights in this card I'm not too enamored with a little bit. So, yeah. Do you think plus 160? Oh, why? By the way, my bro, you sent me that message, and I was going to send a response to you, and then I wasn't long in from work, and my missus had made my dinner. So yeah, I apologise for not getting back to you. Actually, I don't even know where my phone is, so I apologise. Do you think I'll get back to you on that? Why? I'll send a message as soon as I come off this stream, and I'll let you know what my kind of early thoughts are on that fight for that one. But I don't think a poke at one minus plus 160 is actually a bad one. I still need to look into it a little bit more. I've got Stevie Ray, Anthony Lionheart Smith, and Anthony Joshua KO, £6 on £64 return. Might come in that one. I hope Stevie wins though. Obviously, Smith is a mediocre heavyweight. Middleweight, sorry, my eyesight's terrible. Mediocre middleweight. Yeah, he wasn't. Was he a highly ranked fighter in that division? No, it shows you how bad 205 is. But he won some fights, got himself in the right spots, and Raging Al Rakic inside the distance is free money. I hope Manama wins. I really do. I hope Jimmy wins. Jimmy's an OG, man. I love Jimmy Manama. Volkan Latifi, yeah, I think Latifi fucked his back by the looks of things. Who's the Twitter mush? To be honest with you, I've not really been on Twitter. It's something that I'm kind of coming off less and less. It's too busy, and I think it's better just not to be looking at my phone all the time. And I really want to look out for fight announcements. Seen that Armand Sukarian's got a fight against Olivier Aubernese at 240, so that's a fight I'm looking forward to seeing. Who's the Twitter mush? Who have I seen? Probably. I've seen a bit of love for Hadzovic. I've actually seen a wee bit of love for Devin Clark. Talking about the Stosic fight, but I like the plus money on Darko Stosic. So, yeah, I like Stosic in that spot. From GH, well, do you think? What do you think about treble with Stosic, Hadzovic, and Rakic? That I don't think it's a bad bet. See, for myself, I like betting underdogs straight up. I don't like parlaying, but it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing to put together, depending on how much you're betting on, obviously. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's all a bad bet, even though I'm on. I hope Jimmy wins, but yeah, I picked all three to win, so we'll see. Camacho was getting me pumped before I get knocked out by Neil. Camacho's fun to watch. Even his fights outside the UFC was just, he gives everything. He's there to be knocked out. He's there to knock you out. Fun fighter to watch. Who have we got? Cerrone and Ferguson. The last time I made one of these, I said I think I like Cerrone, and I've really been looking into this fight. I've really been looking into that fight, and I think I'm turning more towards Tony Ferguson. And I've been one of the guys that say I don't think Tony Ferguson should fight, in my opinion. But maybe he's in a better mental capacity than he was a while back, and so on. But yeah. Jack Attack, what's happening, man? Hi, Will. I was wondering what your thoughts were on Mr. Arkansas seemingly hanging up the YouTube gloves. He hasn't uploaded in 2 weeks. I think we'll see Mr. Arkansas again. He's maybe having a break. It's not a bad card to miss out on. I know he's one of these guys that he says that you have to put out card after card. And sometimes doing these week in, week out, it's a lot. If you're looking into fights, I know some people on here, I don't think they do as much research as maybe what others do. I do quite a lot, which maybe hurts me in the long run. But if I'm putting money on fights, I want to make sure that I've did the work in investing it. And some guys maybe just haven't got the time to do that. Life gets in the way. It's a hard thing. Like I do this myself, and I always feel I should do more. But like, there's only 24 hours in a day. I work 10 to 12 hours a day in that region. And then the other days I get it's obviously looking after my family, my daughter, and then I've got the MMA Huddle podcast to do. So it's a lot to put into it. So maybe it's just having a break. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But like I say, I'm all for more people doing predictions on here. I've been saying that for many years, and um, he's got some real life shit that he needs to deal with. So, um, but yeah, I agree. I don't think Tony should be getting punched in the head. I'm 100% on that. But looking at the fight, I've got a funny feeling that, like, and I've bet on Cerrone, I think these last three times, all as underdogs. But I've just got this funny feeling that Tony's going to work the body. He's going to the pressure that he's going to put on Cerrone is going to make him crumble a little bit. And I think he's going to. I think he's going to be. I'm like I said. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. That I'm flip flopping on that pick though, big time. Well, would you tune into a match, a box and a grap match between Brandon K and MMA Arkansas, Mr. Arkansas, like a YouTube MMA celebrity deathmatch type of thing? Yeah, I think I probably would. What is Tony's path to victory? You think? I think he can knock out Cerrone. I do. We've seen there's that. There's always that thing with Donald Cerrone regarding once he gets the top guys in the division, can he beat them? And Tony is a top guy. Not that we've seen him in a while, but he wore UFC gold. He's looking to go for Khabib. He's trying to do all that. So I think he can knock him out, and especially over 3 rounds, I think he can outwork him with his pressure. Cerrone's got to start quick, and Cerrone recently has started really, really quick. That helps him really, really good, really well, I should say. If he doesn't, then Tony's going to eat him alive early on, and he's already a round down, and trying to win rounds 2 and 3 against Tony is going to be tough. Really, really tough. So, but Cerrone's got the tools to do it. He's a great, great fighter. Like I said, my man there, Bufo's going on about the Pettis fight. I think Pettis looked rejuvenated in that fight, and he still, I don't want to say he quits because I'm an anti-Pettis. I'm a big fan of his, but the pressure, he succumbed to the pressure, and that's what Tony can do. And I think Tony might do that to Cerrone. Cerrone's got no quitting him, but I just think that as of right now, I think I'm on the Tony Ferguson kind of bandwagon for that fight. Bora Bear, what's happening? Anybody got bets for this week? Anybody got prop bets? I'm a shitty prop bet. I want to get better. So yeah, let me know if you've got anything that you see that I haven't seen. Like I say, I've not really been looking at many bets this week, or even betting sites. I've just kind of been keeping off of it, and I've kind of got my eye on. I've got my eye on 238, and then I know there's been a couple of. Sorry, I'm moving this camera around. I've seen a couple of things that I think the Greenville card's got some odds released, so it's keep going on that. Who are the Yankees playing? Are the Yankees on TV tonight? I'm watching golf, which is a lot less boring, but I like watching a game of golf. I've got some DraftKings lineups for the golf, so in fact, what's that? Anthony Joshua, AJ versus Ruiz Jr. fight week. I'll watch that. NBA Finals at 2 a.m. So yeah, I bet Latifi and got to cash out for plus money with Betway. Like that injury must have came up really, really quick because they did the face-offs this afternoon. Looked fine there, so maybe he did a little bit of training, weight cutting or something, I don't know, and it maybe got to him. So that sucks. Yeah. But what was I going to say? I don't know if any of you guys, I know there's a lot of different predictors and guys that make videos, streams, but I got someone that sent me a message. I can't remember his name, saying that some guy was attacking me on here and calling me out. And he said it was the MMA guru guy. And like I said, I don't have that much time to go back and watch. But if any of you guys watched it, because I haven't been on that much, I'm like, have I said something wrong? Have I done something wrong? And I don't think I have. And I very much doubt. I'm sure they would. I'm sure more people would come and tell me if that was the case. I think it might be a guy just stirring things up. Like I say, I've got nothing against the guy. Fair play to the guy. Build his channel, keep on going. Hoping he goes on there and does some good things. So, like I say, I'm not for attacking people. I think we're all here and we can all build predictors and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, I find it funny people attacking each other on here. I'm not for it. I think we should support each other. And people will come out and say, but they've got more subscribers than you, and they've got this, that. I'm like, who cares at the end of the day? Like I say, yeah, it's weird. It's just a little bit weird to me. Like I support, even though I don't speak to them that often or I don't interact with them, I support everybody that comes on here and makes content. For guys like yourself that are in the chat, they want to talk about bets, talk about fights. Yeah, I hope that's not the case. Because, like I say, I've got nothing against the guy. I'd like to watch more of his stuff, but just life gets in the way, and I can't. But fair play to everybody. The only thing that the thing that I like is, especially nowadays with the new kind of YouTube predictors, they're doing, and I love this, that they're doing more content, like, and they're more savvy with their channels. I am dog shit when it comes to this. All I know is I can put on this camera, that webcam's going to work, this mic's going to give me my voice off and make it hopefully sound a wee bit better. But when I see the guys put their stuff together and build their channels, that's what I wish I could have did 5 years ago, and hopefully I could have maybe built my channel up to a bigger audience to say. So hopefully those guys, like I say, MMA Guru, the little bit I've seen, that I'm not disrespecting by saying I haven't seen much, but I really hope the guys really get a good following. Like I think I seen MMA Guru doing like live streams through fight cards, and like years ago, if I was smart enough, I would think I could have did that myself. But that's a good way of getting lots of fans who are tuned into fights, looking on YouTube. Fair play to the guys. Hopefully he builds his channel up and he has a really good following, makes him fairly have decent cash off YouTube if he can, put a lot of work into it. So yeah, fair play to the dudes. But I like the fact that I've got a nice wee loyal following here. There's great people like in here that I love talking to every time I've got a stream going. Yeah, just like maybe this guy, I can't remember who it was actually. In fact, I cannot find my phone, like I said earlier on. But he said he was attacking me, and I was like, oh, I don't believe that, because I'm sure there was some of my subscribers that are on there that would come and tell me, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit weird. But like I say, I'm not bothered by it. If he wants to do it, he wants to do it. But I doubt that was the case. I watched most of his shows, and I don't recall him dissing you, but he definitely did it. Yeah, I'm all for that. I get the piss taken out of me every day, so it's like nothing new. I love a good piss talk. So I'm going to be screwed. I just got my second copyright strike for Stockholm videos. Oh, that sucks. I've never had a copyright strike. So no, it's just me and my mug on this thing. So yeah, I'm not adding pictures and stuff. That sucks. Well, do you ever betting? Do you ever? Sorry, Masiso. Well, do you each bet? What do you think about it? I've no idea what that means, mate. I got Americani Avenger parlay at slightly over 3-1. Well, in fact, that's not a bad bet, actually. Like I say, I really hope I'm not going to say that now because you've got money on him, but I hope Americani loses. But then if some of you people have got money on him, then I hope he wins, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and the Rangers, against the Rangers tonight, and the under. All right, fair dues. I don't think we have the baseball on here that much. Oh, there they were, actually. Red Sox at Yankees. BT Sport 1. Oh, that's not the Yankees. I think I've got Tampa Bay and someone else. Is it Minnesota? Rays? I don't even know. Minnesota, yeah, Minnesota. I'll put that on for a little bit. So yeah, edge bets. I don't edge bets. I'm not a hedge better. I'm all in. Even though if you can make money on either side, I'm not one for doing that. In my opinion, I like to roll straight. It just doesn't sit right that I'm throwing. It's literally throwing money away to me. I know you're going to get some profit back off that, but still, looking at parlays for this card, don't like much. I like one for next week. Anybody want to guess which parlay I like for next week? I think it's not obvious, but I think it's one I do that I'm surprised that the odds are actually going up in it a little bit. I think over here in the UK, I don't know what it's like in America if the lines have changed. No, the lines have changed slightly, but not much. The parlay I like for next week, and this is giving me a couple of my picks for next week, but let me see. Peter Yan and Yan Zhaonan. I really like that parlay. I do. I like it a lot. But for this card, nothing at all. Have we discussed the UFC roster cuts yet? No. Elias Theodoro, 100% agree with him being cut, even though his record in the UFC is decent. Wilson Hayes and who else was that? Eric Shelton. Wilson Hayes is at the peak where he's ever really going to be. He can go out there, he can give himself some decent fights in Risen. Bellator might pick him up. Eric Shelton's still a young guy. He'll find fights out there. Marcelo Gome came into UFC too early, in my opinion. I think I saw Joseph Morales was another one that got cut as well. I agree with that. So yeah, Stosic to win in round 2 is plus 575. Ooh. That's a good bet. I can't remember. I think I picked him second round, 575. Might be something to look at. Justin Willis, yeah, I heard he was turning down fights. I think he was healthy, but he wanted a set date to cut weight. He's a big dude, like he was 300 pounds when I seen him in Glasgow, and maybe not that high, 290 I think he was. So he's a big dude. Who's the favourite in the Cejudo versus Moraes fight? I think Moraes is slight favourite, and I pick him. Minus 120. That's an interesting fight to me. It's another one I've been looking at. 238 is a great card, by the way. A really good card. I'm seeing a lot of confidence in Henry Cejudo. I'm seeing a lot of confidence on Marlon Moraes. And for me, I'm not going to give my pick away yet, but I'm slightly edging one guy just a little bit more as of right now. And it's my initial pick when I first heard the fight get put together. So Amir Khani held on to the Dukanwa submission extra long. Yeah, Amir Khani is a prick. An absolute D-bag. Seen him I've been around him 3 times now. And last year it was in where was it? Liverpool, and against Jason Knight, and there was a lot of stuff going on between Jason Knight and Amir Khani in the fight hotel that week. We were staying in the same hotel, but he was just like walking around smug, was a little bit rude to fans, sunglasses on, didn't want to be bothered all too much, and that's fine because he's a fighter. He's got a fight coming up, so I can wholeheartedly agree with it. But just a little bit, like even after the fight as well, he was a little bit. Just not like it's some guys just aren't approachable. It happens with fighters in the UFC, and that's fine. Not everybody's the same, but like 98% of the guys you meet that fight in the UFC are great guys, and wants everything to be on him, and it's he never fights. Like that guy had a lot of buzz a couple of years ago about him, and then he just never fights now, and so yeah. He was super cool when I met him in Liverpool. Happy to take pictures. Yeah. Like I said, I never took one with him. I just didn't get the right vibe off him. But saying again, I had previous with him before where he was just a little bit off. But you got to remember, I don't kind of hold that against guys, but just some of the things you see kind of after the fact and riling people up and stuff like that. Yeah, I wish him all the best. I picked him this week. I hope he wins. But then again, I've also said that I hope Fishgold wins because he's a really nice guy, and I want fighters from Liverpool to do very, very well. So Liverpool's probably my favourite city in the UK. If I'm being honest with you, I always have a great time there. I've got an affinity for the city. I've got affinity for the football team who play in the UEFA Champions League final on Saturday coming. My grandpa's originally from just down outside there, so I've got a little bit of a connection, not much, but I love the city and I like going down and spending time there when I have time. Not as much anymore, but yeah. Looking ahead, guys, what fights have you seen? Any of the fights have been made? What about the Uriah Faber fight? What do you guys think of that against Ricky Simone? So yeah, what do you guys? I think it's a tough fight to come back to for Faber. Uriah Faber, I thought that was actually not going to get put together. Wasn't happening, but did you guys see the main event that was announced for Sacramento? Yeesh. Aspen Ladd, Jermaine Durandamy. I'm like a little bit. I'm like, is that really a main event? I think if I was in Sacramento, I wouldn't like that being announced as a main event. But um, I suppose you've got a former UFC champion in the main event, an up and comer in Aspen Ladd. So yeah, you think Tamer can last 3 full rounds? I think he can, but I think it could be a struggle for him. I do. I think it could be a little bit of a struggle for him, just from what I've seen, and whether that's got any better, I'm not sure. But this is probably like it's maybe his easiest fight that he's had in the UFC. So yeah, the Amir Khani Fishgold fight is one I'm looking at for DraftKings. It's just trying to find the right side because you know what Fishgold's going to do. He wants to try and get this to the ground, and I think that Amir Khani could possibly counteract with some takedowns, reversals, and so on. So yeah, interesting. Interesting, but Nathaniel Wood would have made so much more sense considering Faber beat Pickett. Nathaniel Wood's got a fight. I heard that, and I've been digging in to try and find out who his opponent is. So yeah, I'm trying to find out who that is, and see if he's got the step up that I think he deserves. So, how many takedowns does Cejudo get, if any? The thing is with Cejudo, does he really use his wrestling all that much anymore? I don't know. I think it's something he definitely should do. I don't think he can really stand room Moraes for too long. I think Moraes has got a lot of weapons. Moraes has just got a lot of weapons everywhere, whether it be submissions, striking. He brings a lot to the table, does Marlon Moraes. Though I was actually thinking this coming home from work 3-4 hours ago, whenever it was, and I was thinking at UFC 197 when I was there, and Cejudo got smoked by Demetrius Johnson, absolutely smoked. And I remember speaking to him outside, I think it's Bliss Yogurts in the MGM, which was weird. Saw him there, went up, said like he's still got a lot to give to the sport. And I'm looking forward to seeing him. And he got talking. He's like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Scotland." And he's like, "What are you doing over?" I was like, "Well, I'm a fan of obviously the UFC. I'm here to watch. I've got some of my favourite fighters on here. I had Pettis and John Jones was on the card, and DJ was on the card." And I say something, "You're a fan of DJ?" I was like, I am. You can't know some of the stuff that he's doing. And then we got talking. And he said he's never been there. He'd like to come to Scotland. But then I was asking about Arizona because obviously he's from there. And I've got an affinity for Arizona as well. And he says that he's going to change some things. But since then, the absolute difference in that guy is serious. Like the guy's a serious fighter and he's putting everything together. He's cringy as hell, but as a fighter, he's dangerous. So this is a big fight. Yeah, I don't agree on the main event of Aspinallad and de Randamie, especially after Dana White said that Aspinallad would, no Aspinallad, Jermaine de Randamie wouldn't ever, I think, main event in the UFC again, which is interesting. So Anthony Smith's success, Diaz versus Pettis. I still don't think Nate Diaz is going to. I still don't think Nate Diaz is going to turn up for that fight. I've got a funny feeling. Ava Ortega, hi Ava, how are you? Anthony Smith's success has made him a bit arrogant. Yeah, probably. To be honest with you, he beat a couple of old guys. And got the kind of meal ticket against John Jones. Could have milked it a little bit and maybe got a DQ. I think what he did though was pretty good, not kind of getting that DQ. So yeah, I think he beat Benavidez. To be honest, I was the other way. I think Benavidez beat him, but I could see why you could give it to Cejudo. To be honest with you, so he looked great in that Benavidez fight as well. That's a fight I'm looking forward to. Juicy Formiga, Joseph Benavidez. That's a good fight. I'm a big fan of both guys. Have been for Benavidez for many years. Just a great fighter. Just unlucky that he's got some top guys in there ahead of him. So yeah. Okay, where am I at? I'm just having a little look again at any odds, see if there's been any change. There's been nothing. It's all quiet with this one here. Actually, looking ahead to UFC 230, I might as well go through it while the lines are up here for me. Loads of fights I think you could go either way on. I think obviously the big money favourites and Tatiana Suarez. I would like that a little bit lower if you're going to do parlay pieces, but I don't think I'm going to go that high. I've seen some people on Ansarov for that one, and I think she's been great her last few fights, but Suarez looks an absolute different beast altogether. I think there's value in Blagoy Ivanov plus 150. I don't understand why that line is kind of far wide. I think it should be a little bit closer. Sterling against Munoz. A little bit surprised that Munoz is still underdog, actually. So, yeah. Joanne Calderwood, Caitlin Chikagian, struggling with that one a little bit because I kind of struggle to see. I'm still not sure where Joanne Calderwood is. I know she's looked better the last two fights, but it was Ariana Lipski UFC debut. I think it definitely affected her. Kalindra Faria, who supposedly is a jiu-jitsu black belt, but Joanne Calderwood submitted her, so that's like woof. Calvin Qatar, I think that's 155 is not bad, minus 155. So it's a really good fight card, that one. I'm actually really thoroughly looking forward to it. Like I said, some of the odds were released for, in fact, I think all the odds were released for Moicano against the Korean Zombie. What's some of the odds I like there? Kevin Holland minus 240 against Alessio Di Chirico plus 180. Ooh, that ain't a bad bet. That ain't a bad bet at all. Deron win minus 225. I think that's a good parlay piece. Andre Yule minus 325. Oh, can't say I agree with that. Matt Wyman making his return. Brian Barberina minus 140. That's good value in my opinion. So not bad. There's some good fights coming up actually. I'm looking forward to some of those. Sorry guys. What's Manuel's record on European soil? Is it any better in Europe than overseas? I don't know. But every time I've watched him live, he gets beat. So I know he lost in London to Gustafsson. He lost in London to Blachowicz. And then outside of that, has it been any different? But he's kind of got a home game here because he fights out of Sweden when he's not obviously at home. But lost in London, Lost in London. Yeah, he's only lost in London twice. Gustafsson and Blachowicz. Anytime he's went to America, he seems to get beat. Pretty much. Which is true, actually. Got knocked out by Rumble. Got knocked out by Volkan. Got knocked out by Santos. So, yeah. I feel like he only wins in the UK. I think his early fights against Kyle Kingsbury, Diabate, Ryan Jimmo. So he's 3-1. He won in Poland against Blachowicz in the first fight. So yeah. Right. What do you think of Leo Santos, aging fighter? Like I say, you don't see many 40-year-old lightweights anymore. So I think Stevie Ray's got a really good opportunity of winning this fight. I do. And I'm trying not to be biased because he's Scottish, but I think he's got if this fight stays close and he can keep that this fight on the floor, and not be on the mats, then I think he's got a great chance to win this fight. And it is one I am looking at, but reserving judgment still. I think De Randamie beats Ladd. I think I like Aspen Ladd. As of right now, that's a while off, though that could change. I bet even of Piglord MMA, what's happening? Yeah, I like the value I see, and even off there, and even though he screwed me last time, I don't think he should have beat Ben Rothwell last time, in my opinion. I had Rothwell in that fight, and yeah, but I think there's value there. Mano has done, perhaps. I'm still not convinced with Alexander Rakic right now. Like I said, I bet him against Justin Ledet. Cashed a nice underdog play there. He destroyed that guy. I don't think he looked great against Devin Clark at all. But got a first round knockout. Anytime you don't perform well and get a knockout in the first round, it ain't all bad. So, what book was this? Thought it was 5 times I'm looking at. So, I'm surprised Chukage and Calderwood is so far down the card because it's basically a number 1 contender fight. Whereabouts is it? Is it in that card? Let me see. Is it really low down? Fight Pass prelims or? Oh, it is on Fight Pass. Oh, that's a kick in the balls. That makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Why Chukage and Calderwood is on the Fight Pass prelims, yet Kovalkiewicz and Grasso is on the ESPN prelims. Oh, that's a little bit of a weird one. But it is what it is. Alessio, yeah, I've bet Kevin Holland in all these UFC fights. I'll bet against him. But like Kevin Holland plays around a lot, and I think that Teixeira could just take that fight off him. Did I watch face-offs? I watched them. Yeah, Rakic, he does look a big boy. Mano was a big lad as well, and Rakic was kind of a little bit overbearing. So, and if you kind of look at that one, I think Mano kind of backs off a wee bit. So read with that what you will, but yeah. I feel we've got to ride him like we have been with Johnny Walker. I've got a different feeling with Johnny Walker, and I've said before that I think that I'm probably going to fade it. I'm looking to fade Johnny Walker, and one of these times I'm going to get burned with it. But I think that Walker's just got a little bit higher of a ceiling than what Rakic has as of right now. That could change though. Doesn't make any sense, but that's the UFC nowadays. Yeah, UFC makes some weird decisions. Like I've been looking at a few events coming forward, but I'm looking like after July. Like that's a serious amount of cards. Now we're fight fans. We love as many fights as we possibly can, but like I think there's only like 2, maybe 3 weeks between July and December. I mean that's a lot of work. Maybe it's just me talking about just me not having many off weeks and things like that going forward. So maybe it's just me bitching a little bit. But yeah, What's up, Fish Rat? What's happening, my man? How's things? What's good? You got any bets for this week? Let me know. Let me know. I hope you cash. It's not you're not against me in my bets. So, not that I have any bets yet, but uh, what I'm looking at potentially. So yeah. Has there been any other fights announced that I've maybe missed? Let me have a look. I pretty much know all about that. Ngannou against Dos Santos. Anything been made for there? No. UFC 239. Did I miss anything there? Seeing that the Contender series is starting very soon. So that'll be interesting. I might try and get some videos out for that if I've got the time. So looking at UFC Sacramento, July 13th, 2019. Oh, so there is a couple of fights being made there. So very, very heavy team alpha male, which you'd expect. Uriah Faber, Ricky Simone, Josh Emmett, Mirsad Bektic. That's a good fight. Andre Fili, Shima Moraes, good fight. Cynthia Calvillo Souza, good fight. Benito Lopez, there's a lot of Team Alpha Male on there, 5 or 6 guys, and girls. Lopez, Sarah McMahon fights out of there. Darren Elkins, Calvillo's not Alpha Male anymore, but still. Feely, Emmett Faber. ESPN, ESPN 4. Greg, what do you guys think of the Greg Hardy Juan Adams fight? I actually think it's pretty good matchmaking. I think it's a fight to put together. I think Juan Adams has been wanting that fight. He's been wanting to knock out Greg Hardy. And to me, I don't. But it is what it is. Jinsu's son is fighting on that card. That's decent. That's one I've missed yet. Alex Caceres against Steven Peterson. Nah, not bad. Arlovsky against Ben Rothwell. What the fuck is that? Wow. UFC 240. Holloway Edgar. Like that. Pantoja against Figueiredo. Like that. Viveronia Arujo is back in against Alexis Davis. I like that. Chris Cyborg against Felicia Spencer. Yeesh. There's a lot of female fights in that card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. Arman Sarukian. Looking forward to seeing that guy. Already spoke about him before. Claudio Silva against Ramazan Ameev. That got pulled. That got made today. I saw that. Uruguay. There was a fight there that I saw got made today. Ashley Evans Smith. So, yeah. UFC 241's looking a great card. Asin Sao against Sanhagen. Yoel Romero. Yeah, let's talk about Yoel Romero. $27 million. He won his lawsuit. I haven't read up about it. I've just kind of seen the numbers that he got for that. So it's crazy. Horrible. Odds for this card are horrible. I'm kind of agree with there, Fish Rat, getting back at it. Thoughts on Yoel Romero's lawsuit? Jack just saw that. Crazy money. Crazy money. So I don't know how much of that I think after his fees and his lawyer fees he'll get, but it's still going to be a fair old chunk of change. So actually, I think Oz is plus 230 by KO. Did you hear that the fight got pulled? The Uzdemir fight got pulled a couple hours ago. So yeah, that sucks. Did you see that video of Uriah and Cody confronting each other? Uriah and Cody. So it's as in Faber and Cody Garbrandt. Oh, I never saw that. I think Adams will be tough to beat once he gets it together. Yeah, I can agree with you there. I don't like I said, I don't overly rate him. I bet Arjun Buller last time against him, but I think he's got all the stuff there that can make him a good fighter. So Arlovsky and Rothwell. Why would you? That's a fucking terrible fight. That's bollocks, man. What a stupid fight that is. Bye, Felicia. The company will file bankruptcy. Yeah, Adam striking is not good. Yeah. Do you think he'll retire before trying for a belt for a third time? Probably, yeah. They had a fallout. Was this today? Was this very recently, Uriah Faber and Cody Garbrandt? Because that, I will need to go and have a look at that. Was it on Ariel's show? Was it on something else? Because that's interesting to me is that they two, alpha males are an odd gym now. Like there's been a lot of stuff in the last few days. I'm going to have a look at that once I come off here, actually. See what it's all about. Aspen lad won't lose. I'm in agreement with that one there, but I think she should try and use her takedowns, obviously. I think they're there. Don't try and stand with Jermaine all too much. And I think she can get it done. Let me go and have a look at this. I'm going to put into the Google machine Cody Garbrandt, Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber. Let's see what's been going on. Uriah Faber confronts Cody Garbrandt over online beef rumours. Rumours of Cody Garbrandt leaving Team Alpha Male. The thing is with Cody, what I seen with his last fight is that he's been working with a different boxing coach in a different gym. So he's obviously been obviously something's been going on. So confronts Cody Garbrandt over Faber's trolling. I'll have a look at that once I come off here. That's interesting though. I'd like to see Cody get out of Team Alpha Male. Yeah, I don't think it'd be all a bad thing. It might be one of those things where Cody could go to somewhere like Las Vegas. I think his woman that he's married to is based out of Las Vegas, I believe. So you can use the PI there. I know they've got some good gyms in Vegas. So Team Alpha Male, it's one of those teams that I think is kind of slowly going down a little bit. Does Chinny Man? Yeah, I think he does. But hey. But yeah, that's because I think everyone's on Rakic, and maybe they are. Maybe they just see something I don't. I just think that Manoa's got a chance. But who knows? Will, have you been enjoying the recent nostalgic uploads UFC's been making? Was that the UFC 25-year special? I've watched them before, but I know they've been putting them into. I know they've been putting them on YouTube for everybody else to see, which is good. So, Chinny Manure. Personally, would love to see Cody get back the title. I would love to see Cody get back to the title, but because I actually really like the guy. But in between his ears, once he takes one hit, he just thinks he has to fire back, and he has to get that shot back, and ultimately it just ends up to his demise. I seen this week that he's going to be working with Vinny Shorman, who's a guy that might change him a little bit. So who knows? I think he's been lucky with the power punches. I kind of agree with you there, Adam. Like, I've seen people saying he got knocked out badly by Thiago Santos, and I'm like, look at that first round. He took a lot of big shots in that first round, and he was still there after it. Delivered some big shots himself. And I'm not sold on Alexander Rakic. I think the line coming down, I agree with. I know there's some people that are like, why is he minus 190? For me, I think that it's, I cap him as like minus 150 personally, but that's just me. Yeah, it's tough as a Cody Garbrandt fan, Fisher. It's like I was actually like super gutted in that fight with Pedro Munoz because he obviously hit Pedro with some big shots, but he can't help himself, and that's like a really, like, he's got the skills. He absolutely has the skills, but it's pretty obvious that he hasn't got the chin. So he has to work round about that, and he's got boxing skill, but he never uses it. He just wants to throw power strikes. He leaves his chin there to be hit, and we've seen that he can get nailed and eat the canvas. And it's horrible to say, but it's the truth. Hopefully that changes. He gets himself back into title contention, but he's got a long way to go, in my opinion. 3-4 massive, massive wins. So Cody visualized the Cruz fight. He did. I agree with that. But once he got past Cruz, he really should have been like, he can beat TJ Dillashaw. He really can. You've seen in that first fight, he can hurt that guy, but he needs to keep it together. If he can't keep it together, then he gets too emotional, and you can get him 100%. So I know ranking wise, it does not make sense, but I'd like to see Ortega against Ryan Hall. That'd be interesting. I could see Ortega winning that fight with his striking, though. I don't know how much of that would actually go to the floor. Be interesting, though. Rakic got dropped hard as fuck from the left. He did. And like, yeah, I think he's a very live fighter this week. I've got a fair chunk of Jimmy Manawa on DraftKings, especially after kind of Ozdemir got pulled out. That was one of my ones that I was fairly heavy on. I thought he could get a first round knockout. So, as an underdog, I think Stevie Ray is good for my DraftKings. I'm going to give him a bash, and I'm going to give Jimmy Manawa a bash as well. I'm a huge Frankie fan, but really he has much chance of beating Max as the Cheetos Hoover as does. Yeah, like I've seen some people kind of boohoo that fight, but I think it's not a bad fight to make. I think he did the UFC a favor by taking the Ortega fight. And Max needs to get back in the win column. So I think he will. But yeah, Cody should have beaten Munoz. Like you say, I'm with you there. I really am. That was one of the ones I was generally that annoyed me, because I am a fan, but I'm a fan of a load of guys. But because I've had a couple of personal interactions with Cody even before he was in the UFC, and with some of his family members, it's just things like that that make you want to will on the guy a little bit more. Obviously, won the title in unbelievable fashion against Cruz. Had some injuries, had to pull out some big fights, then fought TJ, talked a lot of smack in that, started off great, then he ended up getting knocked the fuck out. Went into the second fight, nothing had really changed, got knocked out. So I'm really hoping he pulls it through and he gets close to that title again. But like I say, I think it's a big ask to get back up there, especially in there. Five is a fucking killer's division. I see the UFC just went and signed Jack Shore this week. Jack Shore, I've been championing this guy since he was in the amateurs. He won his gold medal there, and he's winning Cage Warriors, beat who's been put in front of him. He's going to make that jump to the UFC now, and he's going to be a really good fighter. I think if he makes it to the top 10, I think that's great. Obviously, he wants to be a champion, but I think he'll be a top 10 fighter for many years to come. So yeah. Thoughts on Bellator signing Robin van Roosmalen? They're making some good signings. I like that one. Like I say, they're signing these kickboxing guys like your Raymond Daniels and so on. And if they match them up properly, I think Bellator are doing really well the European series. I actually applaud them for some of the fights they put on. I heard some ones were announced this morning as well. So fair play to Bellator on that. The chin on Munoz is inhuman. Who have you guys got between Sterling and Munoz next week? Interested to hear that. Hi, Sanders, the OG. What's happening, my man? You think Aaron Pico will win his next fight? They've made a fight for Aaron Pico, haven't they? I know he's moved gyms. I know he's got out of California and went to Jackson Wink, which you sham a little bit. I'm not sure about Aaron Pico. Let me check that out. I'm sure he had a fight announced. Aaron Pico. Oh, maybe he hasn't got a fight. Maybe I'm just talking shit. Oh yeah, he has. Adam Boric, Bellator 222, June 14th. He should win. Interesting. Interesting. I actually thought when that fight got made, I was thinking where the betting line's going to be. I thought Sterling would be the underdog. Don't know why I thought that. So people are obviously betting him to keep him as a favourite. So yeah. What do you guys think of the? I don't know if you're boxing guys. I'm not really a boxing guy, but the Deontay Wilder fight. Do you think those guys at the top are avoiding each other like AJ and Wilder? I just wish they would fight, like fighting like this Ruiz guy this weekend does nothing. I know Wilder's got a fight against Luis Ortiz. I'm just like, just fight each other. It's the time to do it. I got Sterling at minus 125. What was it, minus 135 right now? I'm sure I read that earlier on. I think it'll get back down to that. I think people will start betting on Munoz once it hits fight week. I can see that being closer to a pick 'em maybe by fight time. I could be wrong though. Wilder is ducking AJ. AJ is ducking Wilder. That's interesting. I don't know which way to go in that one. Who do I think? I think it's a bit of both, maybe. I wonder. I know my dad is a big boxing guy. He's a boxing trainer. He does that in outside his other work that he does. So he's got a couple of guys that are coming through here that have won kind of Commonwealth medals and stuff. So he's got one guy in particular who's decent that might go on to be a pro, and Tyler Jolly. So who knows? Representing Scotland in big boxing fights. I think he was in the Caribbean last year, actually representing Scotland. So that's interesting. I don't know. He's a really kind of cool kid to sit back and watch hit the bags a little bit. So yeah, Wilder's a bad fight for AJ. Yeah, well, Wilder's like really weird to watch, but then you watch that fight with Brazil and you've seen the sheer power the guy's got. So that interests me. I just think it's the time to put on those fights. So yeah. Worst fight of the Stockholm card. Holy shit, there's a few of them to pick from. Let's be honest. I think the women's featherweight fight is absolute garbage, and I know that they're possibly trying to build that division a little bit, but I'm like, I mean, really, like what's the other fight? The Belliardo against Alvarez fight. Bad fight. The Ackman against Cardozo fight, bad fight. Evanger against Landsberg, bad fight. But I think if I had to pick, I think I'd go for the women's featherweight one between Santana and Malecki. I think that's just a horrible fight. I will not be watching that back until I have to watch it next time, when I'll be doing a little bit of tape for whatever card they're fighting on. So yeah. Yeah, Osden against Latifi cancelled. Latifi's got a back problem, I believe. Hardest fight ever is Santana Malecki. It's just a fucking dog shit fight. Horrible fight. Sometimes I wonder about the UFC matchmaking with stuff like this. Like, because there's clearly better fights out there, and you're putting this, like, there's better fights on the Dana White Contender show than there is. Like, that's a fight that I wouldn't even put on that show. I'm like, what are you doing? So, yeah, I don't know. I've not really looked into Dana White Contender Series all that much, but I know there's some good fighters on. There's more fights this time, so yeah, nobody wants to see that fight. 100% agree. 100% agree. That's like that's the fight. If I was at the event, I 100% be going to get a hot dog. I'd also be taking a piss as well, and I would come back when the decision's getting written off. So, yeah, she's my favourite dog. I thought she was the favourite. She's the favourite, -125. I know she was the dog, though. I know what you mean. She was an underdog, I want to say last week, maybe early this week as well. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Fisher. I was actually thinking more about this with the cuts. I was thinking about the Elias Diodoro cuts when he got cut. I was thinking, is this an ESPN thing? I wonder where they obviously want good fights if they're going to be aired and stuff like that. And people like Elias just don't give you good fights. So I kind of feel for the guy a little bit, but he's going to get himself some probably decent money in Bellator or ONE FC, which a lot of guys seem to be going out there. I think he has a market there. Obviously, he's the ring boy in Invicta, so yeah, he might have a call in somewhere else for that. So, yeah, wonder why you think Ray beats Santos. Wonder why Ray beats Santos. Well, first of all, he's Scottish and I'm Scottish. So I've got those tartan glasses on. But no, like I said, the way I kind of see the fight being, there is definitely, I think, a skill gap on the mat. I think that Santos is definitely his most dangerous down there. We've also seen that he's got hands. That wasn't the Kevin Lee fight, but that was 3-4 years ago. And he's been out all that time as well. And I don't even think he looked that good at UFC 204 against Martins. I remember watching that fight. I was there watching it back, and I was like, that's a worse fight than I remember it was. It wasn't a great fight. And Stevie, I think, has got the right kind of point striking to potentially frustrate someone like Santos. And if it stays standing, I definitely think he can win this a close fight. Now, I would have preferred to bet him at plus 200. I think that line was well. I still think there's value at 170 if you're picking Stevie. And yeah, who knows? Santos, I think, is a really good fight. I just think he's older. And like I say, we don't know what he's been doing. If he's been getting better, then he should beat Stevie Ray here. I just think that, yeah, I'm taking Stevie. Might even bet Stevie. I'll be honest with you. I am tempted by that, but I get burned by betting Scottish fighters. So yeah. I'm not going to pretend like Elias was caught. Pretend to care. I don't blame you, bro. DC Miocic, best dog on the card. Stosic for me, in my opinion, he's a dog now. So that would be my number one dog. Probably Stevie Ray would be number two. So yeah. Adams on Stevie Ray or Manoa. Don't mind them ones. CJ, I remember I was going to respond to you earlier on actually when I was coming home. As per usual, my head gets turned elsewhere. Smith is the best dog. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know how you can find the well, saying that, it's Gustafsson. He might be on his swan song. I think the odds aren't bad on Smith. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But like I say, CJ said he's going against me in the main event. Like, I think if you went against me in main events this year, you might actually be doing pretty well. So I don't blame you for kind of going against me there. Hashim Hamid, what's happening, my man? Appreciate your work week in, week out. Well, I appreciate that. I love speaking with you guys regarding fights and all things betting and so on. So I appreciate you. I've got 3 units in Stosic open -165 and now at even money, dog money. I'm with you there, my bro. I like that as well. I'm kind of waiting to see if that line's going to maybe go a bit more +110, +115. I don't think it is, but if I can get it. I'm picking Smith with extremely low confidence. I don't blame the pick, actually. It's not for me. Sunbin Joe overrated. Well, he's coming from Korea and he's not fought much. Where you look at Tamer, he's faced some, I don't want to say good guys, he's faced decent guys in his UFC tenure. So, yeah. Well, you bet 3 units on B. I couldn't do that. But getting it +150 is definitely better than getting it -120. So you're on the right side there. CJ, thank you, man. You've been a guy that's been commenting commenting on my channel for a long time, so I appreciate you sticking around and showing an old guy some love here, and I appreciate that. Parlay Manawa, Fish Gold, Stosich, Sunbing Joe. What does that come out to? Dog, 2 dogs, 2 favourites. Oh, that'd be good odds. I got Stosich minus 167. Oh, right, scorecards no action. That's actually a good bet. Minus 167. That's not a bad bet, actually. You can get Stosich at plus 110. Ooh, Paddy Power. Let me go and check that out, actually. Paddy Power. Like I say, I've not really looked at the books this much this week. That's why I haven't got any bets laid down yet. I'll probably get some of them done tomorrow, but Paddy Power. Paddy Power. MMA. Is it? MMA. Darko Stosic. Boost. Oh, you're right. Double chance, Darko Stosic by knockout or points, plus 110. I don't think he's going to win by submission. So what's the outright for that? That's double chance. Outright by knockout, method of victory. Plus 170. Ooh, that ain't a bad bet. Especially with the chin issues that Devin Clark has. I feel like you've lost value at 2-1. I'm kind of with you on that. But minus 170, minus 175, still not bad value. But I would have preferred obviously the plus 200. But that's what happens if you don't get in quick enough. Rostam Akman, Sergey Kondisco to go over 1.5. Machu. It could happen. I probably agree that happens, actually. I think that's not a bad bet. What's the odds on that? Let me go and check that out if I've got the odds for that. Total rounds. All markets. Not bad. $1.62 on Bet365. That's what I just seen there. Yeah, not bad. Like I say, there's some fights I just don't want to go near. That's one of them I don't really want to go near. So, yeah. Rambo, Last Blood. Rambo, they're bringing out another fucking Rambo film. Holy shit. UFC champion Jessica Andrade carjacked at gunpoint. God dang. Derek Brunson, next fight confirmed. The path has never been clearer. Ready to put the work in for the exciting finish. Interesting. Oh. Fish Gold by sub. That wouldn't be a bad bet. That's how he's going to win if he's going to win the fight, in my opinion. I really want to see the new Godzilla film. I do as well. I was a massive fan of Godzilla growing up. So yeah, weird event in Sweden. I feel like every fight on the card got huge holes in the game. I think every fighter's got holes, but there is definitely some fighters in here that've got massive holes in their game, George. So I agree with you there, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, like I say, I'm not going to be watching this fight card live, unfortunately. I don't know what time it starts. I want to see maybe 4 p.m. in here in the UK. I'm more interested in not more interested. I'll be listening to the football, Liverpool and Spurs, because I'm a big Liverpool fan, and I've got some fairly big money on. I have got some big money on Liverpool, so and obviously I'm a fan, so I'm a fan of Liverpool. So John Wick versus Neo. I'm going to put my hand up and say I've never seen a John Wick film, and I'm probably completely missing out. But it's something that I do want to watch. I've heard people talk good things about the new John Wick film, so yeah. I got Liverpool at was it +1? It was +190 when I saw the final get made after Spurs won, but I didn't feel I wanted to jump on then. I just wanted a little bit more time. I think I got it at +120. So I threw £500 on Liverpool to beat Spurs. So I'll easily double my money and make a bit more. So I'm really hoping that comes through for me. I don't usually bet on football that much, except for kind of one-off games, and this is a one-off game. So yeah, especially if Kane is out. Right. Ramboy, last cowboy. Yeah. What was I seen a trailer the other day. What was that for? Terminator. I saw the Terminator trailer the other day there, which was Sarah Connor was in it, and obviously Arnie's in it, and so yeah, interesting. But any last questions, guys? A couple of last ones before I get going. I think it's time to put the head down and get to sleep. Coming up 1:30 a.m. Got work tomorrow, work Saturday, off Sunday, Monday. So I think what I'm probably going to do is keep an eye out. I think I'm not going to do it tomorrow night. I'm going to do Saturday night, UFC 238. If you'd like me to put what time I'm going to be doing it, it's probably going to be closer to midnight. So after the last season of Game of Thrones entertainment, what I know there's some guys in here that watch Game of Thrones. I know my buddy there, MMA sends me stuff to watch. And like there is some things I didn't mind the last season. I definitely think it should have been. It was too. There wasn't that many episodes, and they rushed it. I hated the way they did the Night King. I think they really should have did that out over a full season. In my opinion, the whole Daenerys thing. I think they should have had more kind of story behind that. The last episode, I think it was a little bit flat, but I liked the way it ended. If I'm being honest with you, so yeah, I was super late to Game of Thrones, though. I really was. I was one of those people. My fiance, I'd watched it since the beginning, and I used to sit there and say, "What are you watching that shit for?" I was like, "It's absolute doo doo," and I'm not watching anything like that. And then I was looking for something to watch, and then she says, "Watch this, and you will get into the Game of Thrones." And I was like, "No, I'll not." Watched a couple of the episodes, and then I think it was the Red Wedding that caught me and hooked me, and then I never missed anything since. And then the last two, I actually came into watching the seasons on TV was the last two, and I'm like, there's been a lot of people talking about, obviously, since they left the books about how it's kind of changed a little bit. I didn't mind the last season, but I definitely think it was rushed, and they kind of ruined some of the mystique of the show, because I do think it was one of the better shows we've ever had. So yeah, Cerrone, it's another great bet. I've kind of changed my mind on that fight. I kind of like Tony Ferguson now, but that could change again. I don't think it will, but it could. That's all I'm going to say. They're doing a Westeros prequel next. So I hear. Was it The Long Night or something it's called? So I'll be looking forward to watching that. No doubt. I'm actually going next. I'm on vacation. I'm not really vacation. I'm going home next, when is it? 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now. And where my family or where my mother lives, we are a 2-hour boat ride from Belfast. I've already bought the tickets to go to the Game of Thrones exhibition in Belfast. We're going to be doing some things. My mum's a big Game of Thrones fan. My younger brother is a big Game of Thrones fan. Obviously, I watch it. My girl watches it as well. So I'm going to be going to Belfast. I think it is June 25th, I believe it is. I booked the tickets for. So I'm looking forward to that. Something that I definitely, you asked me a couple of years ago, I would say, no, I'm surprised Belfast attracts anything, to be honest. I like Belfast. I do. I like Dublin more, but I like Belfast. For the simple reason, from where I used to stay, where I grew up, it's very, very quiet from where I grew up. If I ever wanted to go shopping, do a good shop, you got on the boat, went over there, done some shopping. It was just better than everything back home. So, but yeah, I don't mind Belfast, but I love Dublin, Ireland, Southern Ireland, I should say, the Republic. So yeah, right, kids, I am out. I'm going to my bed. My back's starting to seize up a little bit, so if you haven't checked out my UFC Stockholm picks already, go check it out. If you don't agree with any of my picks, then let me know. But keep an eye out. Saturday night UFC 238 predictions are going to be on, and then I will maybe Sunday, maybe Monday UFC betting advice. I might as well get it out soon, considering all the odds have already been out for probably a week solid now. So, Jack, my good man, Fish Rat, all you guys that have joined me in the last hour and a little bit, I appreciate it. I'll try and do this more often if I can. Busy dude though. But peace. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care and enjoy the fights this weekend if you're watching live, and let's go Liverpool.